Testing. Ooh, that music's kind of loud. Maybe, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. It is Sunday once again in the world of Elden Ring. All right, there's good, I think. All right, so thank you everybody who shows up, and thank you to everybody who watches the stream after it's done. Welcome back, Nostal. How you doing, man? You're first to arrive. Let's see. So as always, like on Sundays is open line Sundays, the call-in show, or the call-in stream, really, where if you want to join the Discord and call in and talk to me and talk to everybody really about your thoughts, your ideas, your theories, the principles that you would live by. Yeah, this is the time. No theory is too far out of the realm of possibilities here. It's going to be a great show. Oh snap. Oh yeah. In the future, if you're watching this, the link for the Discord is going to be in the chat. Welcome back, Jackal, Rattle, Frosty. How you doing? Oh, thank you, Frosty. Frosty says yesterday's stream with Jack was awesome, and you were a good host. I try to be. Yeah. So yesterday we had Jack. Jack is a mimic on the stream for 2 hours, and we picked his brain. We got to hear how he develops his theories, where he's coming from, his point of view, his frame of reference, the lens that he uses to decipher this enigma that we call Elden Ring. Look at that view, by the way. Yeah, and it was really interesting. He's got a lot of good ideas, a lot of good theories. I think they're good. I think they're very solid, I believe. So if you want to see that, it'll be in a playlist, the live playlist somewhere, one of the playlists. Let's see. So next week is the big week. The schedule change for my streaming and the call-in shows and stuff like that. So the call-in shows are going to be changing to Saturdays starting this Saturday. This Saturday. And then video releases, well, I haven't decided what day that's going to change to. Probably a Sunday, maybe. But streaming will be, the dedicated stream will be from Tuesday to Saturday, 7 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time every day. Unless my kids want to do something, I'll be here for 2 hours every night, Tuesday through Saturday, starting next week. Let's see. Oh, this week we have a doozy of a question of the week. Question of the week. It's a doozy, and it was amazing. It's a great question. We asked Jack yesterday about it, and it was really good. It was really good. He had a good answer, and I look forward to hearing what everybody else's answers are going to be. If you wish to tell me in the chat or call in, it's up to you. The question of the week is: how should the ritual dehorning of the omen be viewed? As an act of mercy or an act of mutilation? Yeah, it's up to you to decide how you want to look at that. And that's, is there a right answer? Is there a wrong answer? Who knows? That's up to you. We want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts. The Inquisition is curious. And that's what we do. We ask questions. Yep. All right, let's see. Anything else? Any other ideas, announcements, or anything? No, I don't have any other announcements. But we were discussing in the voice channel yesterday about who to have or reach out to see if we could have them on a special stream. And you know, we had some ideas. Dryleaf Aaron or Miss Chalice, but we'll see. Let's see. Frosty comes. He has a. Oh, Rado wants to know about the lasagna. Yes, my kids came by and we had lasagna. We had frozen lasagna from Walmart, and you know what? It was actually pretty good. It was pretty good. I was surprised with the quality, the taste. It was yummy, and my kids loved it. I think they had gone to Brookshire's, which is like a grocery store here in Texas, and they had brought pre-buttered garlic bread. And man, that thing was way too much butter. Way too much butter. Oh, there is a bad thing. It's bad lasagna. Rattle says there's no such thing as bad lasagna. There is definitely bad lasagna. So I swear. Yeah. If you ever had lasagna from Luby's or Fur's cafeteria, awful. Let's see. Don't get me sued. That's just my opinion. Humble opinion. And Frosty says, an act of mutilation definitely. From that being said, many omen go blind if their horns are not cut. See, that's what we're talking about. Look, that's his opinion. It's interesting. If you want to expand on that, feel free to join the Discord and come talk to us. I'd love to ask you some questions on your point of view there. Let's see. Rattle says, I'm out of my mind. Mamma mia. It's a me, lasagna. I'm getting my ass kicked in Night Rain, says Boss. Boss, I'm sorry, bro. Definitely getting your booty kicked. Let's see. Since you're getting your booty kicked, were you first in line? Maybe I'll bring Jackal in. Let's see. I don't want to distract you in your Night Rain excursion there. Boss, let me know if I can bring Jackal in first, since you're busy. Oh no? Okay, hey, bro. I get you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, tradition here on the Call-In Show. Well, I think this is number 8. Number 8? Is this number 8? I don't remember. Yeah, it is number 8. 8 times in a row. 8 times in a row. Josh, sorry, that's not your real name. Boss Saucer, the Latin lover. Not mine, but some girl out there. He'll make a wonderful pet. He's coming with the theories to set everybody straight. All right, here we go. Well, let's bring Boss in. Enough showboating. Hey, Boss, are you there?
Hey.
Whoa, 1 second. Let me. All right, go ahead. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Do
Then.
I hear myself? No. Do you guys hear me? That's the question.
I hear you. I hear you.
That's good. That's good.
Wonderful. Yes. All right, Boss. How you been, man? You've been good. How you been doing this week, man?
Doing good. Doing good. Adult things. We're getting pretty old.
Getting pretty old.
Each one of us, but that's not where we're here. So don't worry
Right.
about it.
Are you gonna share your announcement that you told us about?
Oh no! Don't worry.
No, not yet.
It's a state secret.
Oh, okay. Okay, not yet, ladies and gentlemen. Not yet. I'll let you know when he's ready. All right, so man, do you want to start with the question of the week, or do you want to start with something that you have to say? Welcome back, Stephen Ferris.
We can do the question.
Okay, man. Okay. So, boss, for big brain you, here's the question. Should the ritual dehorning of the omens be viewed as an act of mercy or an act of mutilation? Let it rip.
Well, we just got the goat last night, so I'm gonna keep quick my response because my response is not gonna be as good as his. But I do believe it's a cruelty because the Golden Order hates the horns, and it's a mercy because being a spiritual atoned person, well, brings all kinds of problems like seeing spirits and basically this magic schizophrenia we're having here, like that you can see things that no one can see, and tune in that connection.
Huh. Interesting. So your answer's kind of along the same lines then.
Yeah, it's a cruelty
Oh, it is
because
more of a
they're
cruelty than
mutilating you.
right.
Yeah,
Okay, but but there's good reason behind it, don't you think?
it's a good reason. Depending, half the people gets dehorned dies, or almost every of them.
Yeah.
So it's not a good enough process.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, okay.
It's quite blunt and quick.
Well, what alternative would they have?
They they could, well, there's no way that a horned person wouldn't follow a spiritual way because horns are entwined with spirituality, and Marika wouldn't let any more horned people exist because of what happened to her.
Right.
So I would say they, if it's not dehorning nor shunning, would be like exile would be the best thing. If we pretend this is a lollipop land, like, oh, I don't want to see you anymore, like, go away.
I see.
That would be my best option if we don't want to kill anyone.
So just put them, just exile them and let them suffer.
Exile them. Go far, far away. Go from your hornland. Well, you had
Hornland.
it once, but you know what happened.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They got blessed by Mesmer.
Yeah,
Interesting.
by fire.
Okay. All right. All right. Do you have any other do you have any theories or anything else you want to share with us or any comments?
Well, this is a opinion that was brewing all this time since my Lord theory cooking since the beginning. It's that law of regression is in everything.
Law of regression is in everything.
It's in everything we do. It's in, I would say, regressing is the deepest desire of any living thing.
Okay. Law of regression. What do you
Right.
mean? Where did you come up with that?
Well, it comes from, it's hard to say, but it's from a personal situations because I had many family members dying, and like 90% of all my family members and people I saw decline and sadly pass away, is they always wanted to go home. So
Like home, like
I,
spiritual home, or like home, like where they grew up.
both things. I like to think half of them spoke about a spiritual point of view, but I believe they talk about their home, and that carries over in Elden Ring because Godric wants to go home to
Oh, I
his
see.
lands bathed in gold. Marika came home.
Oh,
She
yeah.
wanted to go back home, and basically things like the materials they want to stick together. They want to go to their original home, to their original state. I would say
Okay.
that's
Hmm.
that's my way of thinking. It it shouldn't be like that, but there's enough evidence. It's like a spiritual objectiveness that everything wants to go back together. Everyone wants to go to one place specific, and there's in pieces in there's like a lot of pieces in media of people quoting those words, like "I want to go home." I might quote a I'm not light Ronin, but I can quote something.
All right, tell me. Tell me.
uh, don't don't take me for granted. It's been a long time,
No, I'll never take you for granted, bro.
I
Nunca.
read once a Star Wars novel
Oh shit.
about Count Dooku,
Oh,
and
Dooku.
Count Dooku, and he talks with Yoda, and he says like along these lines, like, "Master, I'm tired, I'm so old, and just like any other old man, I long for home."
Uh, that's true.
So I do believe most people, when they're in that portion of their life, when they're dying, they want to go home. Even animals, we have salmon, we have eels. They go back to their origin to die,
Yeah.
and that actually works with my water theory. Water comes back home. It's a full cycle.
Right. Hmm.
Souls go back home.
Oh,
The
interesting.
tarnish came back home.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
I do believe a a topic about Elden Ring is coming back
Okay.
in any shape or form. A regression could be a better word.
Okay.
So yeah,
So,
that's what I had here.
so what do you think about Godwin then? Does he want to does he want to come back to life, or is his body looking for his
Maybe
soul?
maybe his body is like trying to get out of the root system, because it's literally getting out of the entrances of the roots. Like, well, normally the roots absorb things, the
Right.
death root gets out. So even his soulless body, biologically, it's trying to get out of the roots. It's trying to get somewhere where we don't know. Maybe it doesn't have any direction. We know the dead are aimlessly going somewhere.
Hmm.
Somewhere home.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
It's a whole theme of returning
Yeah.
back to where you came. I like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Whatchamacallit? Yesterday, Jack is a mimic answered your
Yep.
question. Um, or he attempted to answer your question because he's not well versed in the water theory or the way of
Yeah.
water.
Yeah, unlike us, that we are the super soakers.
So, what do you think of his answer and stuff like that? Tell me, man. I'm listening.
Well, I was kind of satisfied because you cannot go wrong when you say like spirits and water go together. He
Uh-huh.
didn't specify because he hasn't seen my post.
Yeah.
So obviously he couldn't say like, "Oh, Boss Hosser is kind of right. He's quite off." And I believe I'm quite off. I didn't write this story, so I don't know the full scope.
But I think you're right. I think you're like 91% right.
Yeah.
You're like right.
Was is no soul is always right. I'm almost right.
Oh, Nossel's always right. You got to be careful with him.
Yes.
He's German. Uh,
So
oh,
yeah, I'm really glad he saw my things and he gave me some validity. It's like being canonized in the church.
yeah,
What?
what? You know what he's gonna say? He's gonna say that's weird.
Yeah,
Remember when we
that's
said
weird.
that we should pray to him in the morning?
I mean, we are all weird
Yeah, we are.
some
Yeah,
way.
awesome. All right, man. So is there anything
Yeah.
else, or
Nope.
no?
Nope, there's not much from my side for now,
Okay. Well, I
but who
appreciate it.
knows?
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I really do.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on the show again and sharing your ideas with us.
Oh yeah, of course. We're gonna have a blast tonight.
We are.
I just know it.
Are you? I'm looking forward to see what Jackal has to say.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, yep. We'll see. All right, then, man. I will talk to you later, and you have a good night.
Sure. Goodbye.
All right, everybody, that was Boss Saucer coming at you with the good theories, the good ideas. Very humble guy. He's a good guy. Let's see. If anybody wants to join the Discord to get into queue to call, there is the link there. It's for everybody. It's open mic Sunday night, soon to be open mic Saturday night. Come tell us what you think. If you think we're wrong, if you got better ideas, this is your chance to pull up your bootstraps, pull yourself up by your bootstraps or whatever the saying is, and prove us wrong. That's right. It's a challenge. Not really, but here we go. All right, Jackal coming in to defend Roger. Maybe. Welcome back, Jackal. How you doing, man? Oh, he's on
Sorry,
mute.
I was muted. Hello, hello, hello.
How's it going, man?
Pretty good. Got done with some devastating daily chores and uh, getting things done on Elden Ring as well.
Oh, really? What do you do? Are your 5 characters on Elden Ring?
6, and I'll save the good news for after the question.
Okay. Uh, let's see. You've also started streaming, right? Right on
I
Twitch.
am. I'm trying to get things worked out. My headset microphone doesn't seem to be translating well into Twitch, so I'm trying to work that out. Still no progress, but for the moment, I am currently preparing the Golden Inquisition Baldur's Gate 3 silly haha fun times Nuzlocke. So um,
Where can we find
if
you?
anyone wants to,
Yeah.
well, I have it's on the Discord with in the OC channel. There's a Baldur's Gate 3 thread that's been opened up, and in the meantime, I've kind of filled the space by replicating the Nightfarers to kind of just make sure everything tests well. But still a work in progress.
Nice. Nice. Do you want to give a shout out to your channel? How where to look for you? Or not yet?
My Twitch handle is sunstorm_jackal. If you see the picture of a clown doll, that's me. Uh, I don't really have a whole lot to credit myself with, but if anyone's interested in having me stream more or do a couple of other things, I'm more than willing to have the giggle times.
Fantastic, bro. Fantastic. All right. You want to go into the question of the week?
Absolutely.
All right. For you, Jackal, the question of the week. How should the ritual dehorning of the omen be viewed? As an act of mercy or an act of mutilation? Go ahead.
Well, personally, I'd find it as an act of mutilation, but in the lands between, I guess it assumes on who you ask, more or less. Um, Omen are very generically reviled. I believe a lot of families within Langdale would more or less ritualistically have to dehorn their newborn Omen infants um, as a process to, I guess, limit whatever spiritual strength capacity they have. I was remembering what Jack was saying yesterday about that, and it definitely got some gears turning. How the horn scent were definitely using their horns and maybe some other aspects as spiritual conduits to access the power of the crucible. But the the tricky part is Roman royal omen horns aren't excised for I'm assuming uh, either for the purpose of what's the word, you know how wealthy people don't like to uh, rub shoulders with the Commonwealth because it would tarnish their image.
Yep.
I believe it's a similar concept to that, where they don't excise the horns of their infants because, well, maybe they believe their infants deserve better in that regard. But it also got me thinking because the two most royal omen we know of, Moog and Morgott, don't have their horns excised. I mean, Morgott excised his own, but uh, there are also several other horned omen, and it kind of makes me wonder: like, are they a part of that same line? Are they just like smaller deviations of America's other children? Um, it's hard to say,
Interesting.
but
Hmm.
there was also cut content in relation to this, not specifically in regards to cutting the omen horns, but how noble families in Langdell view the omen.
Oh,
There
really?
was there was an NPC who also had the last name of Height, a relative of Kenneth, probably. I can't remember his first name, but he gives you a quest line to go into the sewers to basically kill a whole bunch of omen. And then when you come back, he says, "Well, thank you. You've definitely raised my the authenticity of my house." Um,
Hmm.
to that effect. But when you first speak to him, he's like, "Oh, you're tarnished. You really shouldn't be here." Um, and he's like, "Well, because don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against you. Just everything has this proper place. You tarnished aren't just supposed to be here. You could get hurt." Kind of attitude. Like
Right.
if anyone ever hated Kenneth Height, they'd find this guy a real piece of work.
Yeah.
Um, but eventually his quest leads to him winning a chance to gain audience with King Morgott, and we all know that King Morgott is basically hidden amongst his own populace for obvious reasons.
Right.
Um, and he's very excited to meet him. He's like, "Oh yes, I get to meet the king, King Morgott. Oh yes." But after he meets him, when you speak to him again for the first time, he says, "Dude, you need to kill him. You need to kill King Morgott. I the please, he needs to go. You have to do this."
Really?
As if the implication, yeah, the implication of Morgott being an omen is so um, discombobulating that he's willing to commit open treason just to maintain the status quo.
And this is a cut content character. I've never heard of this character. I've heard of. Wow.
Yeah, Sekiro Dubai's channel has the video on it.
Oh, really? I'm gonna have to check that out. Uh, Hmm.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Hmm.
Right, but it does paint a picture on how people in Lanedale view those with horns.
Yeah.
Um, Omen are if and of course there's also the omen killers and the perfumers who would make a concoction to stave off their emotions just so they can continue through with the deed,
Right.
much to that kind of horror. So I would say there are those who would see it as a benevolent act to make sure they don't get too powerful and have to be killed anyway. But then again, the presence of the royal omen kind of, delay this distinction as well. So I guess it's just whose opinion is given at any particular time.
Right. Hmm. Oh, that's a good answer, man. I didn't know about that that cut content. I'm gonna have to reconsider everything now. Maybe after I watch it.
Hmm.
Wow. All right. Thanks. I appreciate it, man. Is there
Oh, no problem.
anything else you want to talk about?
Oh yeah. So I finally got one of my characters into Rao.
Oh,
Um,
you did. Okay.
I did. I'm getting started on working on a new theory in relation to the star fall of magma. Um, and when that's all cooked and correlated, I will let you know my findings.
Okay. Awesome. What's the starfall of magma? Is that an in-game item?
Remember, no, it was when I was constantly raving about how there was literally starfall and all of the lands between was covered in magma, and hardened into rock, and that's why we have so many layers.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Mhm.
remember. Okay then. Oh wow. So what are you so you're looking for evidence in raw for that then?
Well, there's that and a few other things. Like there are places where I noticed like structures that the Hornset had built are also encased in rock, as well as some structures from buildings that share architecture with the Nox. Um, but that's still a work in progress,
Okay.
and I'm still trying to find the core reason why Rao itself was hidden away. Um,
Mm,
all the places within the realm of shadow, America had distinctly, tried to keep hidden, regardless of whether or not you believe it's a patchwork or if it's all one landmass chunk.
right.
She hid Rao for a reason. There's these massive statues of robed women that kind of remind me of what the giant chairs that the Nox had with the giant skeletons. It's giving those kinds of vibes.
Right.
Um,
Hmm.
but I'm planning on digging to the bottom of it.
Yeah. I look forward to hearing what you think because the 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 reason I always thought that it, why it was hidden away was because of the bud. Because maybe maybe she realized that that the scarlet rot or something like that was could grow there or was growing there, and it was just easier to get rid of that tainted area and only have like Melania being the accursed thing, right, of scarlet rot. And it's better to have one that you can control or hide away than having a plant system, I guess, or a whole religion of it. I don't know. I always thought it
Well,
was because of the church.
well, to counter that, there both Kalid and Eliphale have lots of like rot that's spreading out from those locations,
Right.
almost to the point like there's an entire group dedicated to keeping that sustained. But if you look at Rao, the rot's completely self-contained within its own area, surrounded by flowing water.
Right.
Like there's a system of harmony there that I doubt that the rot would spread far out of control.
You're right. You're right. Huh. Well, dang. Well, perhaps they didn't know that about they didn't know about the flowing water, keeping the stagnant water from, infecting the rest or something like that, because like how I'm sure you've seen the memes about how come, nobody just used that curing bolus or whatever, or scarlet bolus. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen those memes? Instead of like,
I I have not.
oh, okay. So there's the memes that say Mikla didn't know about the bolus or whatever. Maybe he should have used that instead of making analloid gold or needles and weaving it into Melania skin and stuff. Because to me, if we're gonna look at it in like in game, right, instead of just like a gameplay thing in universe, I would say that the the intelligence or they were naive to the fact that you could cure scarlet rot or yeah, you could cure it and contain it in a way that only later generations, probably after Melania had killed killed off Kaled and everything, that came about because out of necessity people were having to experiment with things and finally find out a cure like that. So all the item descriptions or anything that says that it's incurable, or anything like that is pre Caelid's destruction, and everything that can cure scarlet rot is post Caelid destruction. That's the way I see it.
M-
You know what I mean?
My counter to that would be that one, the boluses probably wouldn't have worked on Melania because she was the very source of the rot itself.
True. True.
And two, the reason the boluses work so well with us as a tarnish is that we are kind of a different being by composite. Um, yeah, I'm sure like the boluses would help unregular Denzen or the lands between because they have actual bodies with their own internal systems, but we are dead who yet live. We have something else going on that works different from everyone else. Like when we use Tiola's concoction, it doesn't really put us to sleep. We just die.
Right.
If we, if we get hit with death blight, sure, we definitely die, but we don't like become those who live in death or have some sort of like extra you know an extra process to that. We just return by the grace of gold. I think there's just something fundamentally different about us that makes the boluses work the way they do that might not work the same with everyone else.
Interesting. Interesting. And that's entirely possible, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. If they didn't do what they do, right? Then why can't we find them in in numerous places? Why would there be a cookbook about how to make them? What was it there? Then do you think the original recipe or whatever intention was to slow down the rot then, or
Slow down, probably halt it entirely, maybe revert it back. It's hard to say because, again, we're only viewing it from the perspective of Tarnished.
right?
We're not quite sure how it reacts to everyone else. Obviously, everyone uses it because it works for them, but again, who's to say what happens with us entirely?
Right. That is a good point, and there's no way to. I don't think there is a good way to argue against something like that. Yeah, but I would tend to think that since it seemed to be prevalent, right, that it did end up curing things, because things that cure stuff, continue progressing. It spreads out. You find it places. Things that don't do anything, you don't. It doesn't go anywhere. Unless it's like snake oil. You have peddlers out there in the lands between saying, "Hey, drink this." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
we don't have. But there's not a single peddler we find that's throwing out false rot boluses. So it's
true.
it must be a good concoction.
Right. Interesting. I like that. I like that idea. All right. Thank you, man. All right. And anything else?
No problem.
Anything else?
Nothing I can think of at the moment. But if anyone else has a question for me, I'm more than willing to answer.
Let's see. What are we? Oh, Mostre. He has a question. What are we talking about? We're talking about Scarlet Rot. Let's see. Does anybody have any question? I don't see any question. Anybody have a question for Jackal? And now's the time. If you have a question, give him a few seconds.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
I also updated how all the Night Rain characters looked on Baldur's Gate 3, if you ever want to check that out.
Oh, I saw that stuff right before I went to bed. Is it the stuff you posted the last night, pretty late?
Yes.
Yeah, that looks good. I'm really impressed with those mods, dude, and everything, especially the Duchess.
Duchess was kind of the hardest to kind of figure out because there's no I haven't found a leather suit that matched her vibe aside from that one right there, but I'll keep looking.
Awesome. Are you going to end up modding like Elden Ring or anything like that?
I do not have the tools to do that, but if I do get a PC and find a way to make all that work, I might try some things.
Oh, awesome. Oh, wait. I thought you were playing.
I'm playing on PlayStation.
You can mod on PlayStation?
You can mod Baldur's Gate 3 on PlayStation because it has its own designated mod section that you can download. And it's not all of them either. It's just ones that are specifically tailored to be used by
Wow, kind of like Skyrim was. Wow, I didn't know that. That's amazing. Wow.
Most shirts question why the rot fire looks like golden fire that the tree spews.
Let's see.
How
does scarlet rot spread? Is it airborne? I see. Okay, I see that question.
I would assume scarlet rot is like a liquid transferal type. Of course, weapons can have the rot in it and stab you and infect your blood. You can gain it by stepping in rot water.
right? But I also think it's airborne as well, like through pollen and stuff, because of the scarlet bloom and things like that. Because even if you walk through like the powder or whatever, you know, your rot bar continues to grow, so it infects you in every sense of probably infection spiritually, because we see it rotting the Radon's whatchamacallit, great rune.
Yeah.
So it rots on multiple levels of reality, which is crazy to me and very scary if you
But
think about
I
it.
might not be entirely convinced on it being airborne, because even though it does puff out into the air, it also just as quickly just gets dispersed.
Well, I mean, it's like an aerosol, right? So it's not like airborne like a virus or anything like that, but it can't be carried in the air through like pollination and stuff like that. That's what I mean.
For a short time. Yeah.
Let's see. Did he have another question? What is rot? Rot fire that the tree spirits spit? Oh, it would be the same. That would be the same answer. That rot can infect several different things and probably take shape on different levels of reality or whatever energy
I've
and
never
stuff.
seen rock fire though.
Um, I maybe he means like kind of like the Ezekiel, or what's the name? Ezekiel, the dragon. His rot breath. Is that what you mean?
Oh, yeah, but yeah, that's not necessarily fire. It's just breath, you know.
Right. Why does the rot fire look like the golden fire that the trees? I'm gonna have to. Oh, I don't
Unless he's
know.
talking about like the rotten, ulcerated tree spirits or the putrid avatars.
Yeah. Mosturat. Hey, man, I'm gonna have to. I have to look into that, see what you're talking about, because off the top of my head, I've never seen rot fire. Sorry, sir, or ma'am. I can't tell by your picture. But yeah. But I would still fall back on saying that the rot can infect and probably be dispersed in multiple layers of reality of or energy, spiritual, physical, airborne, liquid, touch. Probably not speech. That'd be kind of weird. Oh wait, you know what?
Huh?
No, that's friendly flame. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be my answer.
Alrighty.
All right then, man. Let's see. All right, well, I guess I'll let you go, and you have a great night, man. I'll talk to you here in a little while.
You too. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Alrighty.
Bum bum bum. All right, everybody. That was Jackal, the man who believes that Roger is a good guy, and I respect Jackal for his beliefs, because he holds strong to them. He's a guy that you want on your side. He's a good guy. Let's see. If anybody's listening in the future or now and want to join the Discord to continue the conversation, the Discord link is in the show notes or in the chat. I'll put it in the chat now because I forget how many times to do it. Let's see. Everything's going good right now. Let's see. Let's get Rattle Boy Owl in here. Rattle Boy Owl, aka Serious Moonlight, on YouTube. Let's see. He is. Before I bring him in, I just want to tell everybody something about this guy. This guy is a true content creator. It's in his heart to do it. And you got to respect that, because he's not a clout chaser, but he's definitely got ideas that should be said. He's a great guy. All right, here we go. Welcome, Rattle Boy Owl. Oh, he may be AFK. We'll give him.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, hi, Gold.
What's up, man?
Howdy. What's going on, everybody? What's happening?
Not much, man. Just chilling, killing time. Talking Elden Ring, enjoying the lore. I had a pretty good discussion about Scarlet Rot with Jackal. I
was listening.
Yeah, man.
That was good.
Yeah, I thought it was great. He's got some good ideas. I like the way he thinks. So
Dude, his stuff comes out of left field and it's fantastic.
right?
I love it. It gets the brainstem sparking for
If
sure.
if him or Boss ever start their YouTube channel, they're gonna revolutionize everything. Both of them.
They need to get her going. They
Yeah.
need to get in there like swimwear, man.
Yeah.
Get everything going. Get
Oh.
the Inquisition out there.
Don't forget, everybody, you can find Jackal on Twitch. He'll be streaming on there. More information on that. What was his name? Something Jackal. Look for Jackal. I forget what the first summertime Jackal or something like that. I don't know. It's got the picture of the doll or something Muppet.
I don't remember. Yeah, it's something like Summer Jackal. I'm so sorry, Jackal.
Yeah, sorry, Jackal. I forget, man. But yeah, check him out. You got to show some love to Jackal. He's a good guy. All right, man. What's up? What's up with you? Enough about Jackal. Now it's time for Rattle. What's up, Rattle?
Hey, man, great stream last night with Jack. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah,
there were a lot of people in there, and it was a pretty fun time, man.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Like I said, Jack, he's got some good ideas, and he backs them up, man. I mean, especially another thing that I thought was, and I tend to overlook it, is the crafting material descriptions. I honestly had never thought about looking at them for any type of lore, because I mean, like, we were looking at the Erd tree flower and saying that it's fed from fallen leaves from the Erd tree, and the other one's fed from sparks. And to me, and he's like all boggled by it, and it is boggling, because how do you feed flowers? And I was thinking maybe compost. They're composting the Erd tree flowers to give it to the flowers, right. Or the Erd tree leaves, but the feeding off sparks and stuff. I was like, man, I don't know about that one. That was kind of weird.
It's true though. No, it's totally true. I mean, weird is subjective. And I feel you on that. The thing about it though, at least my approach with it is, and what I've learned about from software games is, it's the sometimes if things don't seem like they have a lot of meaning, in the game itself, you can treat it like it's there to at least hold a little bit of information about what's going on. And if you can put together how the environment works, that can probably help with figuring out what's happening in the story, or like why people are going through what they go through and such. Because like he brought up those Erd tree flowers, and it's a really good call, because I've seen that too. When you look at these different flowers, a lot of them look exactly the same. The poison ones look the same as the fire ones, but they all have specific statements about what it is that fertilizes them, whether it's sparks, and this is all stuff you just said. But it kind of shows a cycle, and I think it's kind of like a little example of like trying to give you a trail to go down. Like, hey, if you want to hear how this world works, here's like a little tiny example of that, and then maybe that'll help you get 10 toes down on what's happening.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. And you're probably right. But I don't know. Well, man.
I'm not Nostal.
Well, yeah, you're not Nostal. That guy's always right, dude. He's like, who's running the Inquisition now? It's Nostal, really. He's too smart because he's German. But and another thing that Jack had said that I had found interesting. I know we talked in the post show. No, I mean, not me and Jack, but after the shows, I always talk in the Discord for a little bit. The whole taking the lost in death, the tarnished, and those who live in death, as a talking about a physical reality instead of like a spiritual one. Because I had always looked at it at a spiritual lens. And he was like, no, they're living in dead bodies, so it's death. I'm like, oh shit, that makes a lot of sense.
Could you if you don't mind, I mean, it's your show, so you're in charge.
No, I don't mind.
You had made that same comment. Pardon me. You had made that same comment yesterday. Do you mind unpacking that a little bit, like how you look at it through a spiritual lens, that kind of thing, so I can calibrate myself to how you look at it?
Okay, so I was looking at a spiritual lens, like. So in my head canon, the reason that we have lost in death is because the Erd tree, for some reason, or because well, let's go back. The reason that we have lost in death is because the Erd Tree or the Elden Ring lost the power to rebirth people through the Erd Tree, right? Because Radigan took out the Mending Rune or the Rune of Rebirth and gave it to what's her name, Renala, right? And now that she has this rune, the Erd Tree, Erd Tree / Elden Ring can't do its job and absorb people and rebirth them. So now you have those who are lost in death. So spiritually, you have all these spirits that have nowhere to go. And so you have those lost in death first. And then seeing that there was like no, America or, the higher ups, Godwin and all of them, saying that, okay, now we have all these walking ghosts around. They have nowhere to go. People are dying. And what's up? What do we do with them? So when we go talk to the finger reader down in the deep root depths, she says, oh, Godwin, she's lamenting about Godwin, saying that he was supposed to be a martyr to destined death, and become the first of the dead or something like that. So the key word there is martyr, which means that he went willingly into death, right? He was supposed to die. And to me, that tells me he's kind of like the Jesus Christ figure for the lands between. He was supposed to die, and in death he was supposed to lead people, all those who are lost in death, into the Erd Tree once again. He was supposed to be the new gateway, like the gate of divinity. He was supposed to be that, like Fia's like the gate to the land of the dead or whatever. He was supposed to be that to those lost in death. But since Ronnie had her own plans and things got sideways, Godwin, instead of being that Messiah figure, is now like this monstrosity. So now his body is leading those who now that are no longer dead. They're no longer lost in death. Their spirits, they have a leader now who is Godwin technically still. And so now they're just people that live in death in the spiritual form. They've given up,
Right.
Trying to become physical again. So they live as spirits now, those who live in death. So they're just, I saw it that way. And, the whole possession thing, because, then that's the way I saw it. And so, yeah,
I kind of agree with you on that. Like, I think a lot of the same things, and the lines are kind of blurred for me between the differences between the two. I mean, there are obvious differences between the two, but we can't hash that out exactly what he said. But to go on to what you say, like I actually agree with you as well. I think the whole Erd Tree system is kind of a machine of life and energy, and they use things like divine because what else are you going to call it?
right.
They use spirituality because what else are you going to call it? You can't call it electricity. You can't call it souls. They already did that in other games.
Right.
I believe you're right. That's pardon me.
Yeah.
I believe that you're right that these souls need to be led back in over time. That ability has kind of been lost through events in the lore, events in the world building before the story takes place. So they started just building catacombs right under the roots so they can just get in there.
Right.
And it makes me think that Godwin was supposed to be the next god of everything, because exactly how you laid out, he's supposed to be there to be able to, bring them in. And if he's the god, he wouldn't need a rune to have that presence put into the current Elden Ring if he was going to become the new god, because he would be the rune. He would be the thing.
Right. Yeah. And I know somebody's going to push back saying, well, why would Godwin, choose to do this? Well, in my head canon, right, in my mind, he's already saved Lindell. He's the head of the Dragon Communion Church, probably Dragon Communion Cult, right? Or not Dragon Communion Cult, the cult of the ancient dragon cult. He's the head of that. Sorry.
Yeah.
And so he's riding high on this, like, his ego, like, I can do anything, I'm the perfect son, I'm Godwin the Golden, and watch me conquer death, for real. Let me lead these people from, being lost to.
Do you think he didn't want to be the god?
Well, like an actual god, like America god?
Yeah. Yeah, like that's his chair.
I think
that's his rune arc to hang from.
I think it was going to be I think it was going to be Elden Lord more than anything. I think it was going to be Elden Lord, which is basically quasi-goddish. nothing to me points to him wanting to be a god. And the only reason I think he might be Elden Lord is only because of Reddit theories, and everybody's theories have influenced my thinking that Ronnie killed him because he was going to be her Elden Lord, that they were going to get married. But honestly, if I think it, if I think it for myself, there's no reason for either one of those to be right or wrong. He could have been the next god, perhaps.
Oh well, I mean, we're here to talk about it anyway,
Right.
So it's all good. There's no wrong answer. I
Right.
just like hearing what you have to say about it.
Yeah.
I think everything that you said lines up, but maybe he wanted to be the next deity. Maybe he wanted to be the next vessel, because if you look at some of the other examples of people who are going to be quote unquote next, take a look at, for instance, Ronnie, who gets her own ending, becoming a god. All right, I don't think she's, we're her moon lord, not Elden Lord, but we're her consort. So that, I mean, according to the framework that they give us, she's become the god, the vessel of the moon. She gave up her body. Mikola, on his plans, decided to become, transcend. Well, according to my theories and my opinion, his answer to everything that was going on, all of his problems, I think he tried a lot of things and then settled on becoming a deity himself, saying, if I can't undo, we'll take Millennia's Rot for an instance, and I won't derail myself by yapping about it too much, but they tell us that he tried everything to cure her Scarlet Rot. He couldn't do it, and just decided to say, okay, well, if I can't win by the rules of the game, I'm going to become the game. I'm going to take myself out of the game. I'm going to be above the level of anything that could affect the causality of my fate, because I'm going to become more powerful. And he gave up pieces of his body to do that. So maybe Godwin needed to have this happen for him in order to bring in and become a vessel of himself. Now, whether it's the vessel of the Elden Ring, which I, to be fair, I was kind of poking at, just now.
Yeah.
But I think he was planning on dying. I think he was planning on it, and there was a cross, a double cross, so to speak. Maybe he had found another. Maybe he didn't want to be an Elden god, so to speak, for lack of a better term. Maybe he wanted that divinity and to bring in another spirit, another outer god into power, and which is what I think all these are vying for. Whether there's a tree or not involved, I think, the Mother of Truth wants to be the ruling deity. The moon wants to be the ruling deity. The Rot wants to be the ruling deity.
Interesting. Let me ask you something. I don't know if your theories have gotten this far, but who would be the god, the outer god that he would bring into the forefront?
Death Knight.
Death Knight? Oh no, death / night.
Death, night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, slash is better. I shut chat because I know I'm probably gonna get cooked for that one. But I mean, I'm just a lore baby, so I'm trying to sort it all out in my head as well.
The god of death. The god of death. Oh,
yeah, they call him the Prince of Death. They capitalize death.
Right. So
everything he does is around death. He works with dragons to, ancient dragons that don't have to deal with death. I think he's trying to steel himself to be something that is not, quote unquote, greater will. Because that's weird. I mean, I've been calling it Elden, but I should say Erd or something. I'll just say greater will, but that's not a very catchy name. But whatever it represents. I think gold is its color. Gold is its affinity, its flavor.
Right, and death would be black or purple.
Yeah,
I guess it would be black because his spell, his lightning spell, is like black and gray.
Yeah, because he's a product of gold, and then it's similar to the Omen, and that'll probably segue nicely into your question of the week, so to speak. You can see, Fortisax's fire. You can see his spells, Death Knight spells, having, dragon affinity, which is technically gold because it says in item descriptions that comes from the same place. The worship of they call it a cult, but at the same time, other item descriptions say that worship of dragons is tolerated because it ultimately worships the same thing. It's a conduit for the same energy, the same affinity,
Right.
but it's tinged with death, with
Mhm.
black around it. Shadow Tree is similar energy, but that's kind of a stretch to like just up and say that. So I'm sorry about that. But
No,
if
no
you
problems.
look at the spells put forth by that stupid giant sunflower, when you I hated that thing. The
Really?
third
It was so
phase, I'm like,
easy.
how am I getting so mad at a flower? Whatever, dude.
It really was. Bone bow, scarlet rod arrows, poison arrows, done. Same way I beat Matir. You
I'm
know.
quality build. I'm in there with the lance sword just poking away, dog.
Oh
Like I
man.
don't really use spells or anything.
Oh
I'm too
really?
dumb for spells.
No, you don't
Yeah,
need a spell
yeah.
for a bone bow. I mean, the bone bow. You just
Boo
need
boo. Hit him
some
with the boo boo.
the boo boo. You just need dexterity, bro. Because remember, my build is 81 faith build, and that's it. I got nothing else. Nothing but faith, man. Faith and grease. That's what I live by, man.
Right. I
Hey,
want to do another playthrough where oh, go ahead,
oh,
please.
go ahead. No, go finish your thought. I got a question for you.
I was gonna say nothing of consequence. I was just saying I have a level 266 guy that I use for lore hunting
Jesus.
because I can just poke, anything
God.
with my stupid build. Um, I want to get it started again, but I like having everything open to me for when I'm seeking out answers
Right.
and all that. And
Right.
that's all I was gonna say.
All right. Let me ask you this: since we were talking about Godwin, do you think, since you're a class A, top tier, class S content creator, lore theorist, in your
Oh, hush your mouth.
bro, do you think what we see on top of the banished knight helms, and the malformed dragon helms, Erdtree dragon helms or whatever, do you think those are representing Godwin or representing something else?
I don't think that they're distinctly related to Godwin. I think Godwin's related to dragons. I think Godwin tried to get in with dragons. I think those were. I personally have a theory about them having something to do with the time of the storm realm and the sun realm
Mhm.
and such, which would be, I mean, all indications so far and the very nebulous information given to us is the time before the age of gold, the age of plenty. As I understand it, right, the Golden Order is separate from the Age of Plenty. It happened after that.
Uh-huh.
Because there's a lot of they have omen horns and such on the armor. They have horns on the armor and shows the same time of storm powers. Commander Nile, uses his veteran armor is Banished Knight armor, and he uses a lot of storm spells and such. And I think a lot of that magic was kind of held by dragons and such at that time, as far as what I know.
Okay.
What do you think?
In the beginning, I will say that I was with the majority of the community that thinks that it does represent Godwin in some type of dragon communion form or something like that he was turning into him. I've over the years I've seen that theory switch to that he that he was able to transform back and forward, or that he was turning into a dragon, or he was a dragon or whatever. I've seen it does, but to get back to it, no, I don't think it's him anymore. I don't think it's him any longer. I think it doesn't represent him. Does it represent? Could it represent like a descendant of his, perhaps? But then, how do you get Godric, right? That's
maybe I would think it's more like based on an ancestor, but that argument that I just said kind of dissolves into the air. I just think they've been around because I think that stuff. Well, maybe not so much the malformed dragon part of things, but the banished knight part of things. I think is before the order of events that were really. That really affect us and that are present in the game. I think they come from a time previous, and how could they represent Godwin if Godwin wasn't around then at that time?
Okay, so I have a theory for that, right? All right, so I think those dragons on the helms represent people who that were in the ancient dragon cult, right? That also partook in dragon communion, and those soldiers that did that did become these malformed dragons, right? Because they saw this power and stuff, but then they realized that the power was eating them alive, basically. And as for the banished knights, them being labeled banished knights, I think all the banished knights that we see were all once within Godwin's order of Dragon Communion, or the military at that time that followed Godwin after his death and their failure to protect him from assassination. They were banished, and that's why banished, killed, exiled, all of that. Because why else, if not for their failure to protect Godwin, why would they have that label, and then have so many of them dead at the Shadow Keep where Mesmer is, right? So to me, that tells me this: Mesmer knew Godwin, and then after Godwin's death, he got the order to, hey, these knights failed. They're probably traitors. Get them all together, say nothing, and then wipe them out. And that's why we find them all there. It doesn't look like there was a battle. It looks like it was a massacre. And they just right there, probably from like the ramparts, arrows, while Gaius was running them over and, killing them because of their failure to protect Godwin. And in my head canon, I see that as the most logical thing that makes sense to why they're exiled and banished at the same, all at once.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there could be holes in my knowledge, so it's like I'm gonna try and meet you there, with what you're saying. But with me, mostly it's timeline and where these things exist. And in my thought process, if I can like concisely answer a lot of the things that you just said, I feel that the Banished Knights come from a time. At first, I used to think they were the Knights of Godfrey. Then I thought they were the knights that Godfrey defeated amongst like the Stormlord and such, or at least at that time, the early conquest times. And as far as them being present in the Shadow of the Erd Tree, in the Shadowlands or whatever they call it, I kind of feel like that's just like America's messy garage, just full of stuff, just full of the things that aren't in the house, just full of everything that they don't want seen, she doesn't want around, or they find themselves there.
Yeah.
That's why you find a lot of extra death there. That's why you find a lot of energies that she or Radigan, whomever's in charge, doesn't want in the essence, in the spirituality cycle of the Lands Between proper.
Yeah. I think you're
so
right.
it's mainly just time that kind of disconnects, because I think Godwin has his own knights, and I think they have their own crest.
Right.
And Godwin partook in these dragon spells, to procure like that at that angle of power, that angle of energy, and maybe that kind of political relationship with dragons, and to bring that age back.
Right.
And maybe it wasn't desired to be the proper rulership.
Can I give a one pushback respectfully though?
Absolutely.
Okay, you were talking about like Godwin having his own knights and stuff like that. The only thing I would say to that, because we find the Death Knights, right, and they have their own look. If we look at the knights, right, we know that Mikla has a whole set of knights, and then he has another set of knights. He has the Needle Knights, and then he has the knights that are protecting the Hallowed Tree and stuff like that, right? So who's to say that he didn't have like two separate order of knights? That's all. You know what I mean? The kind that had the whatever crest in the back of the helmet that they replaced with the skull phase, they became the Death Knights. And then, he had these other knights that were like the dragon community, or ancient dragon cult knights and stuff like that. To me, it doesn't seem too far off to say that they had two different looks, since Mikla's, I always figured Mikla's military power was much less powerful and smaller just because it's Mikla. But
All right. Well,
he had two different, looks.
I wanted to interrupt you because I want to give you a disrespectful pushback.
Okay, fantastic.
Listen up, dude.
I'm right. You're wrong.
I really don't. I don't really see anything wrong with you saying that because, and I don't want to just hide behind. Well, this is what Rattle thinks. This is what Moonlight thinks. So no. I just it's my personal belief that Mikula tried a lot of things, and I don't see why Godwin couldn't have two bands of different affiliations of power too. Because if you look at like the sword monuments and such, like they fought against the dragons. And then they had a whole dances with wolves, Fern Gully, Last of the Mohicans type of situation, where they became friends with a chick in the dragons. And I'm being real stupid here with how I'm saying things, but
you're fine.
It's a call-in show about Elden Ring, so we have fun. But
Nasta wants us to have a creator war, by the way.
Nasta wants all kinds of wars. Like he's a war fixated fellow.
It's just the German in him talking. Don't ignore him, people. Ignore him.
I was just gonna say, if anybody wants to join the Discord, and please do, because I really enjoy being yelled at in there for my dumb ideas, and you'll be able to hear what that fella's all about.
Yeah.
When you do meet him, though, tell him he's wrong. That's how you open the conversations.
That's
like,
right.
Hey, I hear you're the wrong guy. I'm shutting chat again.
Yeah, he's definitely wrong.
But I don't think there's any reason that things change. They put together power, and then I don't think the dragons served him. I don't think he started with dragons. I think he got in with dragons and was like, hey, this is some real power that doesn't come from the greater will side of things. It's kind of like how we were. At least in my mind, how we were put back when speaking with Ymir, when the Shadows of the Earth Tree came out, and how he's just like, it all comes from the same place, bro. Mm-hmm. It's all the same, like it's whatever margarita you get, it's all the same tequila, my man. And like they even have talismans. It's like Blessed Dew talisman. It has the same description, but the drop is blue. And I mean, they do mention that they use that fancy schmancy word cerulean.
Yep.
Sounds like a sauce you'd get out of steak at an expensive place.
Oh yeah, Texas Roadhouse, sure.
Do they still be throwing the peanuts on the ground there? I could never eat there because of that.
No, they stopped that, which I hate. Now they give you like the peanuts in a bag. I
walked in, I saw that, and I left.
Are you allergic to peanuts?
That meme of Grandpa says. No, I'm allergic to grossness. Like I'm
what?
Not, like I don't want to sound like a le douche, but it can't be me, dog. Can't be me. I'm not gonna sit at a table with people eating and just throwing their scraps on the ground.
What?
Like I'm not. I'm not gonna do that, man. Walk around and crunch.
Somebody ban this guy. Golly, for real.
I'm sorry.
Dude, I love breaking him on the table and just flipping him onto the floor. Fuck it, come on, it's Texas. We're men.
I'm good, dude. Me gusta mi cacahuates. Just already shelled. Just the labor done for me. No mess. Dude.
Jesus.
I just can't do it. I can't do it.
Whatever, I guess. Stay out of Texas, I guess.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, we never did the question of the week for you. You want to answer it real quick?
Oh snap, my bad. Yeah, sure. Okay.
All right. So hold on. Don't ruin the flow. I ask a question, then you answer. And then after you answer, I'll pull Tim in. All right, here we go. How should the ritual dehorning of the omen be viewed, as an act of mercy or an act of mutilation?
Haha. Well, I agree with Jackal on that one. It depends on who you ask. I think technically, in my opinion, it comes down to mutilation because it's a control. It's I think that horns are kind of, they're remnants of a rival power. The spiritual divinity that's associated with the crucible, and they don't want that going through the Erd tree. They don't want that going through the system. If you look at various items like the different bairns, and take a look at the Wraith Calling Bell. They all have the same kind of aura around them in the art, and it talks about summoning wraiths, and wraiths are vengeful spirits that are, from cursed individuals, which I presume they mean people that perish from the omen curse. These are spirits that are steeped in the power of this rival faction. And I think it's a rival. Well, not faction, rival deity. I think it's a manifestation or expression of a rival deity, because there's already holy damage and holy damage negation, but there's no crucible damage, in the game. So sorry, in the game, slap my chancla on the floor. So it's just called holy when it's gold, because that's what's in power. That is what is God at the moment. Whereas other things are called lightning, they're called magic. And I think these horns are excised a lot of times because they just don't want that material to go through the Erdtree. They don't, because that's when it starts to taint it, and it opens up an opportunity for a rival deity to take away what the greater will currently has control of. I think it's used for research. I think it's used for energy. I'm cooking on a video I kind of like the little bit more wild theories, in a sense, just to see if some kind of truth can sprout out, involving the timelines of, births regarding the Erdtree and people, and how people are born while, with the golden order intact, with the greater will intact, utilizing whatever the power is, that egg that the amber egg had, but that was given away. And so entities started being made with a different kind of power, and they were tapping into crucible energy, and that's how we're starting to get misbegotten and such. So we have these crazy crucible guys that aren't looked very fondly upon, but they still pray to statues of Radagon, America, because that's still mommy, daddy. That's still where they came from. But their batteries aren't the regular Duracells that are given to everybody. It's some different brand. It's some different kind of power. That's my opinion on it. They just don't want that going through the system, and I think you can see that through Morgott and what happens to him. When you kill Morgott, Jackal had mentioned, Morgott excised his own horns, and I think that's how he made his sword and everything, and still had that blood pumping through him. But when you win in that fight, he turns into just a regular corpse. No horns, loses his stature. I think stature, in one of my previous videos, I think you literally grow with the power that you consume and with the power that you take in. You literally grow in size. That's why bosses are taller than us. They can't guard me though, but they're still they're still huge. But when you beat them, they turn back into regular sized people, and Morgott didn't die until Horalu, Godfrey gave him an Erdtree death, and the rest of his body dissolved and went to the tree.
Okay.
I think that's why we need 2 runes to get in there, because we need to be more potent. They closed him off because they don't want that crucible, I'll just call it crucible energy, in the tree system. So they lock him out. And any tarnish that's going to fight him has to have a larger presence of greater will energy in them if they're going to get past it and get into the tree themselves too.
All right. I see.
Just my take.
All right. Good answer, man. Very thoughtful. Very thoughtful. Well thought out, man.
Yeah, but
it's wrong, but it's okay.
I totally understand. I'm wrong about many things.
No, you're good, bro. All right. No, it really was a good answer. No joke. Joking aside, it was a good answer. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Oh, excuse me. All right. So, do you have any announcements, Mr. Serious Moonlight? Any new videos?
No, just I'm working on 3. Meeting you guys and being around here has really lit a fire in me. I just want to make sure that they're proper and a good time for people to watch. Again, I think a lot of my style, I have a lot of apprehension to just say this is how I think it works. I tend to ask questions more than I make declarations because I want to hear what other people have to say about it. I don't think I have it figured out by any regard, but I think I'm on the trail.
All right then, you're good. I look forward to your videos, man. And
I look forward to yours, my man.
I appreciate it. All right then, man. Well, I will talk to you after the stream. Take it easy, man.
Peace out, Boy Scout.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Serious Moonlight, Rattle Boyale, the king. All right. Let's bring in Tim. Tim's been waiting on hold a while now. Tim McGraw, I believe. Here we go. Yeah, Serious Moonlight. You can find him on YouTube's the YouTube. Here we go. Tim, hold on. Let me make sure. Tim McGraw. Hello, Tim. Is Tim there?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Doing.
You're doing good. That's good to hear, man. Would you like to start with the question of the week, or just jump into something that you got to say?
Let's start with the question.
All right, the question of the week for you, Tim. How should the ritual dehorning of the omens be viewed as? An act of mercy or an act of mutilation?
I would definitely say mutilation.
Oh, really?
To me, like, the ritual dehorning always reminded me of demasculinization. Like, it always seemed like castration.
Oh.
So it almost seemed like that's their way of saying they can't multiply anymore.
Interesting.
If you just look at like what horns generally mean and you try to study them, it's like there's only like two representations of a spiral in nature, really. You get some on flowers, but nobody really mentions that. You really only see spirals in horns and like in storms. Like, and you could say maybe a whirlpool, but that's pretty much a storm too.
Right.
And so it has some inherent like chaos, like the storm in the horn, in my opinion. But it's just interesting that it's like, that's like the omen's whole power is, it's their whole identity is in their horns, and that's like kind of a masculine thing in general. So I really think it's a lot of like virility, like in Asian culture they like consume rhino horns, and that's why the white rhino is extinct now. Basically, it's because it's been hunted to extinction because of its horns.
Oh, interesting. That's pretty good. That's a good idea. You know what? I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, that was my big thought whenever I first heard it. Like, oh, they dehorn them. It's like, yeah, that sounds like rhinos getting hunted.
Yeah.
Take a rhino pill or something.
Okay. I like that idea. That's pretty solid. That's really solid. All right. So do you want to discuss anything, or do you have anything else you want to bring up?
I actually do want to discuss something.
Okay.
Which is wills and souls. So Ishi.
Right.
Have you ever thought like about what the dark soul means in Dark Souls? Like what that general thing is?
Wasn't it? I always thought about it as the I guess the spirit of humanity. Like it was our essence, that what made us different from the gods, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But that's as far as I ever got. Was it? What are you thinking?
In Dark Souls 3, we like finally get like an item description, right? Because we take it from Gale. But even before that, it's like, all right, well, let me translate what is Dark Souls in like Japanese, and they literally just call it Dark Seru. That's the name in Japanese. Like if you look at a Japanese copy, it says Dark Seru. So
really?
It's just English version of Dark Souls.
Nice.
So
okay.
then, like, whenever you finally look at the description in Japanese, of the Dark Soul, it calls it an ishi or ichi. It's not really a full word. It's more like a part of a word, but you can use it, whatever. So they call it basically the dark will. It's the same word in Japanese as soul.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so and it's ishi or ichi depending on feminization or how it's used in part of what word. But like another way to translate that is like, oh well, what about the greater will? And the greater will is, yeah, he used the same character, he uses ishi. So the greater will is also translatable as the great soul, right? You could say
Oh,
that. That's perfectly fine to say for the greater will.
okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 Tell me more.
Yeah. So like will is kind of like the entire theme of Dark Souls. If you don't have a will to fight or a will to walk your path and walk your journey and try to fight till the end, then you go hollow in Dark Souls.
Right.
Like it's the whole point. It's like that's kind of the curse of the dark sign, where it's like you guys are cursed with fire, you're cursed with conflict and chaos, and until you meet your end. And as soon as that doesn't happen, this curse is just gonna basically wither you away. You know,
Right. Right. So,
and that's why Gwyn made Age of Fire, right?
right. Okay. So,
Yeah.
wait, is there more? Because I was going to ask you a question, and which
There's more, yeah, but you can ask.
well, I don't want to ask because it was going to be the question of the week. I can think of another question of the week now that you. Oh man, this. You know what? I'm not going to ask because it's supposed to be the question of the week, but it has to do with what you're talking about, what you just said specifically. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. We'll discuss it next time then. But yeah, like so in Elden Ring specifically, there's a lot of will and soul and all that, but there's particular like the next level of connections that has is with your eyes and with blindness. So if you get possessed or something, your eyes change in color. Or if you just have enough power and essence of that something, your eyes change color. That's why, like, we never see America's eyes ever. We're only going to see a back shot of her.
Right.
Because if we see her eyes, hey, we might see she's blind. What about America's Scar Seal and Sword Seal? They say that that's Radagon's and America's eyes themselves. So
Right.
would they be blind? You know, it's like there's some weird stuff to that. But the blind characters specifically, like, they're really, really liable to get possessed. Like, if you blindly walk your path, you're basically walking the path that somebody already set for you.
Mm-hmm.
And in Elden Ring, it's like, oh, that means you're done. Like, you're completely just blinded, and somebody is completely controlling you. So if you're blind, you might see the fire of the Erd tree and be like a faithful prophet. But
Yeah.
if you're blinded by blood, you see the blood star, and basically you're controlled by the Mother of Truth.
Okay.
So, yes.
Hmm.
So it's like that's a lot of possession and stuff, and that's what we see with Shabriri. You know, if you Google Shabriri,
Mm-hmm.
it says that Shabriri is a real life demon in Jewish mythology, and that he lurks in still water chalices, basically little vessels, cups that have stagnant water. And
Right.
if you drink it and get like blindness because of all the microbes, whatever, in the water,
Yeah.
then he'll possess you, and because you're blind, and make you blind.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And he's interesting just because he acts like a demon in game too, because
Right.
chaos is usually like the most
Hmm.
evil archetype. It's like the most evil theme. So he acts like a total demon in game. He's like, burn everything, because it's the most evil shit you can do.
Right. And you know that's interesting that you said about what the demon does. You know, in I guess in our reality or whatever, that it makes you blind. I guess that's why they have it so that the followers of Friendly Flame pluck out their eyes and, you know, give them away, especially to Hyetta for as the only example. But ooh,
it's either that
wow.
They either pluck them out like so that they can't really see light, or their eyes just melt.
Right.
Generally, their eyes melt.
Even
Even the America and Radagon Scar Seal, even their eyes melt. They got blinded by way too bright of a light.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's like why Gideon is like so obsessed with America, still calling her his queen and everything, and he's because he looked into her soul. I think it means that whenever he got knighted, since he's a Sir Gideon, he should have been knighted by his queen, which is Queen America. So he should have met America, and if you do that, it's like, well, America like is probably gonna possess you. She's the vessel of the vision, Enya calls her, and Mikola in 1.0 in an item description says he inherited her vision. And that's basically blinding you and gonna take over your will. Like you're only gonna see the one light that you got blinded by and walk towards that. So that's gonna be your whole destiny. It's like they took it over.
Now, do you think? Let me ask you this about Mikla real quick, because not to throw off the entire thing, but do you think from that line that you just quoted about that he inherited her will, do you think that's why some people in the community think that Mikla was the next in line to be the vessel for the Elden Ring?
I think because he's an Empyrean, that he was basically a really good vessel. I don't think just anyone could be a vessel and like be the god. Anyone can be champion if they're strong enough, but I don't think just anyone could be a vessel. So I think like Mikola actually had enough love to where he would take the blessings of all the people. He'd be a mother and he'd actually like help people emotionally and try to take in emotions and data. But otherwise, most people would just either not be able to handle it, or somebody like Ranni would basically run away with the Elden Ring and not even care about the blessings that flow back from the Erdtree burials. So I think like Mikola had a good emotional state for it, and that's why he was sort of next in line for it. It's because people didn't really have like another choice for a mother.
Interesting. All right. Cool. All right. So okay, let's get back on track to what you were saying. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Otherwise, I would also like say like it's not just blindness and everything that possesses your destiny. Have you ever heard of the Mathematica Principia, which is Isaac Newton's book?
Nope. Sorry, bro.
So it's probably the second most influential book after the Bible.
Really?
It's where he basically wrote all the laws of gravity and all the laws of motion that determine it.
Okay.
So the words he uses like to describe gravity is the same words that they reference in the Golden Principia. They use like pole and heavens and stars and everything, but it's basically like pretty clear that the Golden Principia is a reference to Isaac Newton's Principia. So that means that like the pole of causality and the pole of regression, the pole between and of meanings, like they're really just replacing mass with meanings, with ideas. They're replacing physical matter with ideas.
Oh,
interesting.
interesting.
And so that's kind of like the whole idea of the Golden Principia, is that like there's actual pull and like gravitational pull between meanings and ideas and like souls and basically the ideas in the Golden Order.
Oh wow. That's very,
so
wow. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's mostly like relevant because if you have enough gravitational pull and you can stop the stars or create new stars or whatever, that means you can also influence destiny and fate, right? Because fate are the fates in the stars and all that. So the greater will should have the most gravitational pull, since he's like the current god. And like what you would do with that is you'd be a black hole. So that's why it's like, to me, Ymir's helmet just confirms that like the greater will acts through at least like a rift of a black hole, because it's
Really?
got the most gravity.
Oh wow.
So that should control most of the fate and everything in the lands between, until Radon comes along and stops fate and stops gravity, because he literally stops the stars.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I'm taking notes. Wow. That's really
So
good.
otherwise,
That's really good, man.
like there's also like, it doesn't matter if you have the most gravity in the universe if you're the closest celestial body like the moon, right?
Right.
Yeah, so the moon should have a lot of control over fate too, and it's like it does. It for sure does in game. Moon's got a lot of followers.
It does. It really does. Huh. Wow, man. This is a whole new take. I'm going to have to smoke on this one, man.
Probably the last part of that would be like literal guides, like, because there are literally people in game that work basically for outer gods or for whatever.
Yeah.
Like Shabriri like deleted quest from, for whatever reason they couldn't make the Shabriri merchant quest. But Shabriri like works for Frenzy Flame, but he also literally tries to guide you, the Tarnished, tells you where to go. And he
Yeah.
also like brought the merchants to the Frenzy Flame. But it's not just him. There are also other guides, and pretty much anyone who has like a fixed fate can also be, usually they have a guide. There's some character in game that actually like is telling them what to do or manipulating them. And that's like Gowry for Millicent, for example.
And the two fingers,
Like he's
would you put them in that camp? Okay.
Yes. It can really be any character. It's mostly just a living being.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But though that's like, there's usually for everyone who's like an NPC and like a hero of their own story, usually any of them also do have guides. It's just that we as the Tarnished, we don't have any color in our eyes. Like we've got no allegiance. And we're also free, because that's the whole idea of the game. The key phrase of the game for Elden Ring is freedom. It's an open world.
Oh,
So
yeah. Oh, that's meta.
Yeah, so we get multiple endings. We can choose whatever fate we want. If you're blindly walking the path of Elden Ring, then you just go with strength build and you bonk everything on the head. You have no elements or nothing. You just you make yourself completely free, and you make yourself do whatever you want in the game. And that's perfectly okay for pretty much only the player. Everyone else gets screwed over by outer gods.
Right. Wow, I like this take, dude. I like that. I like the whole meta look of having no guide in the open world. It's
Yeah. Everyone tries to be the Tarnished guide. Everyone wants to give you instructions and give you quests and everything, but you can ignore all that if you want.
Yeah, no kidding, bro. That's good. Man, I took some notes, so I'm gonna look over these. Wow, I like this interpretation a lot. I like it a lot. I think it's really good.
Yeah, that's one of the things where I don't even think, like, I don't consider that a theory I came up with. I just consider that what I've noticed from the game. Like, really.
Yeah. I've never even looked at it that way, dude. I mean, it's so amazing. In the last, yesterday and today, man, everybody's like blown my mind recently with these interpretations.
Yeah, there's still a couple of things I didn't mention, like puppets and stuff, empty vessels, all the vessels and stuff, but like it's like, oh, that's really the core idea. So you can just apply that to everything.
Really?
Shadows following you around.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you want, if you have the time, you can in the Discord you can put your theories out there, and so we can all read them and enjoy them, because this is really good. This is good stuff, man. That's if you want to.
Blinded by the light. I
All
think there's
right.
different forms of light too. It's another one. Like that's more the theoretical part of it. Like, oh, you can get blinded by moonlight, or you could get blinded by sunlight or Erdtree light,
And
light beam or something.
do you think all those light represent time travel or time in some sense?
Not so far. I'd have to like, it's like Philionora and the times you see like time travel with light. I don't think there's enough of that because Dark Souls always tended towards, oh, there's multiple worlds and you can go cross worlds by like writing your name down and having someone touch your name and go into your story or go into their story. So it's like, to me, it's not time travel. It's just many worlds interpretation,
Hmm. Okay. I see.
parallel universes.
Parallel.
And
Yeah.
that's why I think like Elden Ring ends with the Erdtree Beast Arena. It's because it's like, well, there's a bunch of trees because there's a bunch of worlds.
Right.
Because it's
Yeah.
all the other players' worlds.
Oh, you see it that way. Oh, okay. I see. I
Yeah.
see.
Because you can even help NPCs by traveling to their world. So it's like even the other NPCs in game usually are the heroes of their own story, and you can travel to their world if they summon you.
Oh, dang. I never thought about that either. That they have their own real or not religion, their own realm, their own reality in the string theory
Yeah.
type thing, the infinite universe theory or whatever
Yeah.
it's called. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Oh, okay. Dang.
It's just for them. I think they don't really have the freedom we do.
Right. See, wow. Well, 'cause see, I had agreed with, there's a person in our Discord named Cholesterol, and she had this idea, and I think it falls in line with other ideas that those trees in the Elden Beast arena represented like other FromSoft games or ideas or something like that, I think. And I thought like one of those, trees was Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Sekiro, and Armored Core or something, right? Because honestly, with the release of Night Rain and everything we know now about it, and along with patches, especially patches, we can't forget patches. There's always been that subtle hint that all the realities are connected in some way, and patches maybe
They're anchored or they have a nexus like that.
right. And patches is like this god or some type of being that can travel between them freely, and just that's how he's in all the games. I don't know. Anyways, I'll let you finish.
I think it's less he can travel and more just like FromSoft is like an outer god or the greater will or whatever, and they just incarnate him over and over. He has a bunch of reincarnations.
Oh, that's a
my
good
opinion.
idea too. That's a good. I didn't think about that one. Nice.
Just because they're evil, they're like, nah, that's the chaos part of FromSoft. We just want to trick you over and over.
That's funny.
And bait you with good items, so you have to be tricked.
Oh, good. Oh, God. Yeah, that's true. He got me. He got me that in what was it? Dark Souls 3. He got me, and he got me here in Elden Ring too. He kicked me off that cliff, and
at least he's not a spider anymore. That was weird.
When was he a spider? Maybe I missed
Bloodborne. He was in Bloodborne, and he was a spider with Patch's head.
Oh, really? Okay, I never played Bloodborne. Oh, God. That's funny. All right, man. So is there anything else? Because we're getting low on time, and I'm just make sure.
All right, one quick thing.
Okay.
The Elden Ring is like, it's obviously inspired by Lord of the Rings. Miyazaki said that. But in Lord of the Rings and in Elden Ring, the ring itself is a metaphor for power. It's a metaphor for like the ruler having power and that power corrupting absolutely. Like that's both Elden Ring and Lord of the Rings. It's probably the main thing Lord of the Rings or Elden Ring took from it. So usually anytime the Elden Ring is involved, everybody splits and everybody wars for power. Like even Marika and Radagon fought over the Elden Ring, literally.
Oh shit. That's right. And then the narrator says in their newfound tainted strength or something like that, the demigods.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You know what? I didn't think about it that way either. That it was a corrupting force, if too much.
Yeah, and it's just because people want to have different interpretations. People want to have that different meaning, so they just war over it.
Hmm. Yeah. That's yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Hmm. All right then.
Yeah,
Well,
I'd say that's the last thing I want to talk about.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming on here and telling us these thought-provoking ideas, man. For real. I'm gonna have to smoke on
For
these.
sure.
They're really good.
For sure. That's just the stuff I needed to get out there because I think that helps a lot of people's understanding of the game.
What was the name of that Newton Isaac Newton book? Oh.
It's it's like Principia Mathematica Philosophy, but you can
Okay.
just put in Principia, just like Golden Order.
Okay.
Yeah. Or you could just put in Isaac Newton's book.
Okay.
That would Google would take it right up.
All right.
It's
Thank
written
you.
in Latin, but
Is it?
there's plenty of translations.
Fantastic. All right, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Yep. For sure. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Have a good night, man.
You too.
All right, everybody. That was amazing. I'm gonna have to look that book up. Principia Mathematica. I'll just look it up. Sir Isaac Newton's Mathematica book. All right, we got one last caller for, I guess, for the night. Then we got 14 minutes. Let's see what Not Godwin has to say. Not Godwin, the famous YouTuber. Everybody knows him. The greatest. One of the greats. One of the goats. One of the pillars of the community. Not Godwin. Here he is. Let's move him into the server. Oh, wait. Oh, did I do it? Okay, here we go. Not Godwin, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just chilling, killing time. Talking about Elden Ring as always, you know.
Yeah, this has been a really great show so far.
Yeah, it really has. It's a lot of great ideas. I love them. Did you happen to catch Jack and the Mimic guest episode yesterday?
Yes, I caught most of it.
Oh, good.
I had one of those weird problems where my computer keeps restarting again.
No.
So if I disappear suddenly, that's what happened to me.
Okay. All right. I'll forgive you this time.
Thanks.
So, do you want to start?
Was there anything you wanted? Oh, I was going to ask. Did you want to bring up anything from Jack's?
Oh no, I was just wondering if you saw it. Yeah, I pretty much said everything that I thought he had a really good takes, good like his lore, he backs it up. I think it's interesting that he looks into the crafting materials and stuff like that because I never thought about looking in those. And his whole Elden Ring is a time loop. That I thought that was really good, and all the little meta things that he had said from throughout the game, especially the one from Kingsfield about the marijuana plant or leaf. Just hilarious.
Wonderful.
He's very well versed in the greater FromSoft, I guess, library, and along with George R. R. Martin's stuff. It's really impressive. It's really impressive.
I would expect nothing less from him. He's amazing. I love Jack's stuff.
Oh yeah, so do I. Well, let's see. Do you want to start with the question of the week, or did you want to jump into something?
Sure. Let's start with the question of the week.
All right, question of the week for you, Godwin. Godwin, not Godwin. Godwin. All right, here we go. How would the ritual? Oh, how should? I apologize. How should the ritual?
Oh, was that next week's question?
No. No, I haven't written down next week's question yet, but I have a thought in my head. All right. So, how should the ritual dehorning of the omen be viewed as? An act of mercy or an act of mutilation?
I think if there's any mercy in this act, it's all politics and fake. I think it's completely mutilation. I think if we haven't talked about the great omen killer cleaver, it's basically just hitting them with their own horns. You can't put a positive spin on that.
No, you can't. No, not that one. No.
But like, if we look at the bairns, all three of the little horn scent babies, all three of them have the vibe of they die either way. They die horns on, they die horns off. And then I'm not sure what the DLC one is dying of, but they're just dying.
Right. It's a tragic
I
thing.
think it's showing the cruel carelessness of death, and it comes for all of us in this what does Melina say? She says indiscriminate, death indiscriminate.
Ah, yes, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's pretty good. Nobody's brought up the Omen Killer hatchet or whatever. What is it? A sword? Axe? Whatever.
The great Omen Killer Cleaver. I know it's a mouthful.
Yeah, that one's pretty hard to justify, and I don't think you can, and nor should you, in my opinion. But yeah, interesting.
I don't feel strongly on it. I just love that weapon.
You love to use it, or you just love the look of it, or the stats, or all of it?
All of it. It was just really fun to use for a lot of different Ash Wars.
Oh, really? You know what? I've never used it. One day I'll make a quality build or a strength build where I can use stuff. Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen the thing. It's bad PR.
So, what would you like to talk about today, man?
I know it's kind of a return to form, but I wanted to talk about people fracturing. It's kind of what I brought up in my very first video.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
So I learned a little bit about parts therapy, and that's kind of what led me into this revelation to lead me into my very first video about Godefroy or Godfroy. The Godric look-alike, the Evergal dude.
It sounds so much better when you say it with the accent, dude. How do you say it? Godfroy?
I'll try. Godefroy.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Anyway, I learned about parts therapy or internal family systems therapy.
What is that?
Where we are, it's kind of if you interpret your mind as a congress of people, or just like a giant concert, but it's all doors, and people just come outside of these doors when they have something to say. When you have all of these repressed emotions that just kind of burst out from the seams, and each one of these people inside of you, quote unquote people, or parts of you, were created ever since you ever felt that particular emotion the first time. So there's like, you've heard of the movie Inside Out, right?
Inside Out. With Kevin Kline back in the day. No?
No, it's more of an animated kids
I'm
movie.
old.
No, it's okay.
No.
It's more of this animated kids movie where the girl has a whole bunch of cast of characters inside of her brain, and they control her, and they represent each of her emotions. Anyway, but it follows this whole principle of that each part of you is you cycling through each of these emotions. Like, you have a scared part, you have a intellectual part, you have a angry part, you have all of these different parts of you were created and split off from your original personality the first time you ever felt those emotions. So it's kind of like a very easy framework to build off of, like if you've ever heard of multiple personalities or DID stuff like that.
I have.
Well, if our brains are just naturally meant to fragment in this way, it's kind of easy how people could fall into these sort of patterns. Anyway,
Okay.
how we can apply this to Elden Ring is very, very fun because we have a lot of duplicates and angry voice messages that people leave.
Okay. I'm ready.
like Moog. Why there's Moog in the sewers, why he's also the Lord of Blood, but also just kicking it, guarding the frenzied flame.
Okay.
Why Morgoth attacks you 3 times and under a different name.
Yep.
Why there's 2 Vikes, a whole bunch of different stuff. But my favorite example is Millicent, because Millicent shows us how this kind of works, because you might first encounter her in the church, or you might first encounter her with both arms attacking you out in the swamp with the Shamshir.
Right.
But this is the interesting thing, is if you go talk to her with one arm, you can go back and she's still invading you with both arms.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, there is 2 of her now. And Millicent herself even says that she is the pride that Melania discarded to take on Radon and stuff like that.
But didn't she say she wasn't sure? That she only suspected that's what she was? Oh.
Yes.
Are you there?
It's funny that she says that both
good.
in the exact same room.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if your computer died or not.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm here. She says it in the exact same room. You're right. She says both things.
Oh, okay. So how do you
prayer room,
how do you reconcile that then?
Well, it's kind of interesting that they would keep this whole process a secret, and I think it's because of this is also how shaman blood works. If there are shaman plant people, it's also about cloning plants and stuff like that.
I see.
And this is also why Melania is viewed as being so fertile. Like there's like all those other daughters and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
But it also comes from this deep sense of inner conflict and bloodshed. Like you have to like actually bleed a little bit. And I didn't even consider like the women's particular bleeding, but you know what I mean? Like,
oh, I see. The moon cycle.
Anyway, yeah, that anyway. But it's the sense of inner conflict. Like Moog wants to be the Lord of Blood, but he also realizes that if he doesn't guard the frenzied flame, there's no point in being the Lord of Blood. There's it's the reason why Morgoth hunts you down, yet still has to be a stable and present ruler in Leyndell. It's this division of duty through intense passion, and that's the spark of the inner conflict that tears these people apart.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. I'm writing down notes.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right. So okay.
This very odd thing that I'm going to bring up. It's I learned about this graph that we can actually learn about people's intentions. If you make the graph kind of like north and south, south being what we do on the inside, like what we think about, as opposed to what we do and like do on the outside, which is north, and west is I'm moving towards what I want to do in my life, what I view as actually west is bad. Wes is like, I'm not doing the things that I want to do in my life. It's like the opposite of the flame of ambition, whereas
Okay.
the East is the more flame of ambition.
Oh, okay.
And if we just plot like characters' certain actions on this graph, we can actually better understand their motivations. And I bring this up because we talked a little bit about Godwin, and it's very hard to actually understand what Godwin's motivations were in the game, particularly
Okay.
because he does seem to be super mysterious by design. Sadly, even more so than Mikola now. But I think
Hold on
I
one
think
second.
we can apply that whole graph to every character. I'm sorry.
Okay, what was north?
Sorry. I'm getting the RFK voice.
Oh, okay.
So it's north. North is like what you do on the outside, like
Okay.
actually like saving your friend from a cliff or something about that. And south is, oh, I should have saved my friend about falling off the cliff instead of just thinking about it. You know what I mean? Like being so inward and reserved. Being,
Okay. All right then. Okay. All right.
Hesitant. Like south is being hesitant and stuff.
So south is more like internal reflection, more of in what's going on inside of you. Out, and you said north was outside, meaning more like actions and things that you do. So it's more okay. And then east would be your ambitions, your wants, your desires, and west would be your stagnation, your regression, your and things like that. More negative traits, right? Things that don't pull you forward, they keep you still or pull you back. Okay, all right then. And I'll just making the graph and make sure that I'm getting everything right here. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and you can put it on any character on this graph, and it'll really actually show you like a better way to plot out their motivations.
Okay.
Because Mikola might be very weird on that graph because he wants to do a lot of things, but it never really pans out.
Right.
So he might actually be like circling or something. But anyway, it's kind of funny that us talking about this out loud, it kind of represents the map in general too, like with the south and the west.
Right.
Or at least the lands between.
Did you come up with this yourself? This is really good stuff.
No.
No,
this is some therapy stuff I learned.
Oh, okay, shit. Good therapy then.
It's like a side hobby that I'm just learning to.
Nice.
Types of therapy.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah, there was other. This one little tidbit I wanted to shout out about was I was fighting Bale with Jackal.
Okay.
Earlier.
All right.
And I was in the Dragon Communion form. You know, the one that is the male version that makes the Dragon Communion spells better?
Okay, yeah.
Using the rock heart. Anyway, I zoomed in on my character's face and I realized there's another head inside of your head when you're a dragon person.
What?
And it's not like the traditional potato covered in cloth thing. It looks like a stone version of your head. It was very unsettling. I encourage all of you to go check it out in game, but I'd love to know if it's on the female version as well. I haven't really tried that out, or even on the Omen version.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, the Lamenter body that you get.
Wow. Okay. I'm definitely have to check that out, man. So it was like inside the what do you mean inside the head? Do you there's if you look at the mouth?
I got close. I got close to a wall and just kind of angled the camera towards my head, and it got inside of my head a little bit. And yeah, there's another head inside of your head.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look at that. That sounds wild. That sounds wild. Wow.
Yeah, it reminds me of the double jaws that the Dragonkin soldier dudes have.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, I wonder if there's there. Oh, I wonder. Oh, ooh, there could be a connection there. Did they use Dragon Communion to make those Dragonkin soldiers? Interesting.
I think so. I think so because I think the double jaw may be a hint at communion in general.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, man. Oh, thank you, man. I'm gonna check that out as soon as I get off stream, because Veronica doesn't have that yet. and I can't do it on the Golden Inquisitor because I'm not gonna do a face reveal. You know what I mean? I'm waiting until I get to 10,000 subscribers.
No, I understand. You haven't played Demon Souls at all, have you?
No, I've never. Sorry.
Well, they have a dragon god who has the whole double jaw thing.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, you know who else? You know who else had double jaws? I think it was didn't the ancient dragons in Dark Souls have jaws? The stone dragons, they had double jaws, didn't they? Or
They
was
looked like it, didn't they?
Yeah, or was it? Or am I
It kinda
thinking
looked
Demon
like it.
Souls? Oh man, now you got me on.
Could have been Demon
I'm gonna have to look.
Souls.
I'm gonna have to look. That's a good connection.
For sure.
Oh, okay, man. Well, is there anything else, man? Because it's after 9, and
No, that's
Anything
everything.
All right.
I just wanted to thank you again for having me on, and you're doing a great job with the show, man.
Oh no, thank you, man. You're always welcome on the show, man. Always, you know that. I appreciate the kind words, though. Yeah. So,
for sure.
I will. Do you want to do a shout out for your channel or anything, man? You know, because it's not Godwin. Everybody loves you.
Sure. Sure, I do have my own Lord Tuber channel. It's called Not Gotten. I draw lots of things. I try to be funny. I've only got 3 videos, but I'm working on my 4th right now. And yeah, I think that's as much as I can sell myself at the moment. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, and if you anybody that wants to join the Discord, you know, you can always join the conversation or continue the conversation and see some Not Godwin's art. I think he's posted something up there a few times. He's a really good artist. I mean, he's good. What can you say? Yeah, man. So I appreciate you coming on the show, and I will talk to you later. Thank you, man.
Oh, thanks. You have a good night.
You too. Well, everybody, that was tonight's show. We got to talk about Elden Ring lore that we love, and we got to talk about the question of the week: how to see the dehorning of the omen as an act of mercy or an act of mutilation. And normally I don't answer these questions myself. I leave it for you, the people, the Inquisition, to tell me, because I want to hear what you think, right? Y'all can hear what I think all the time on the other streams. But you know what? I want to answer this one myself tonight, because I thought about it too. And I think everybody here, you listen to them, you listen to Jack, it's either an act of mutilation. The majority was an act of mutilation, or a little bit of both, but mainly mutilation, right? And a lot of or everyone seemed to look at it from the aspect of the Golden Order, the Earth Tree, as a religious thing. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, as a Golden Inquisitor, I see it as a act of desperation. It truly was an act of desperation, in my opinion. It was a horrible act, but for the denizens of the lands between, when your child was born with these horns and these things that you knew that would plague them for the rest of their lives, they would grow and blind them, or they were debilitating. And if they grew up with these things, they would be haunted by these vengeful spirits because of what the Eternal Queen had done, or perhaps that's what was happening. So out of desperation, I believe that these parents that love their children saw the risk of maybe dehorning their children to give them some type of life that was better than being plagued by vengeful spirits for the rest of their lives that could cause them to take their own lives or hurt other people, you know? And when I first saw that, when I first read these things about the omens, and I initially thought that, you know, because, you know, at first you think, yeah, they're doing it because we hate, you know, the Golden Order, the Earth Tree people. They hate the omen. They hate the Crucible, and they don't want anything to remind them of the old ways. But then you learn that they're haunted. They're you know, plagued by this evil that comes through the horns. So I see it as a desperate act. Did it work? No, we know they don't work. But you know, when you're there and you're holding your children, you know, who knows, right? What you'll do to save them. So that's my opinion. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope to see you back tomorrow. Tomorrow's back to regular streaming. I might do another game. I might do some Elden Ring. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, the call-in show is going to be changing to Saturdays. Let's see. Oh, Base Serpent, I saw that you were on hold. I'm sorry we didn't get to you. I promise. Like last time. Next time you call in, I'm going to pull you in immediately because I know you're at work, bro. And, you know, maybe Saturdays will work better for you. But the call-in shows, we're going to be switching to Saturdays instead of Sundays. But still same Inquisition time, 7 o'clock, same Inquisition channel. Till then, everybody be safe.